What's up, you guys? Welcome back. I'm back with another one. You guys. How you doing? It's your girl right here. I'm back. So I actually did this video on the same day I did the relaxer video, so I hope you watched that one. Anyway, you guys, these are some knotless box braids. So you guys, I love knotless. I like doing them. They're even fun to do. I like doing them better than a traditional box braids. And to be honest, I don't think I have any clients that get the traditional box braids anymore. Maybe one client, maybe not. But, so as you guys can see by my channel, I do so much different stuff. And I hope you guys decide to subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell if you do subscribe, or if you have subscribed. If you click the bell, then whenever I upload a video, you'll be notified. So thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. But anyway, you guys, so what's the big deal about knotless? To be honest, you guys, to me, it looks like it's your own hair because you really can't see that knot. You're just adding hair in, and you're just feeding the braiding hair in, and you just plaiting it on down. You're feeding that hair in, and you're plaiting it on down. So this client came early in the morning. We started early. She had something to do that day or somewhere to go that day, and so she asked me if I can start on her a little bit earlier, and I did, because she's a long-time client. She's a reliable client. She's never late. So I did not mind accommodating her early. I'm an early morning person anyway, so that was fine with me, because it's not a big deal for me. It's just I don't want to get up, go in early, and the person doesn't show up, or they oversleep or something like that. So you guys, I started this thing because I had that happen before. I'm sure stylists have. But I'm an early morning person, so I don't mind starting at 7 in the morning or something like that. I understand sometimes people have stuff to do. So I really don't mind doing that. And you guys, this is the braiding gel that I use. It's called Always, and you can find it in your local beauty supply store. To be honest, when it comes to braiding gel, for me, I have to try different brands, because sometimes I can get hooked on a favorite brand or one of my favorites, and then, you may not see it anymore. They may not have it anymore. They may not stock it anymore. So I'm kind of big on just trying different stuff, because sometimes you may end up liking something else. Now this client, she does not like a lot of braiding. She don't like a lot of braiding gel. The one thing about knotless, at the root, if you have natural hair, at the root, the hair, it can become pretty puffy, especially if you have natural hair. So for me, I love for my finished work to look nice. So to combat some of that puffiness at the root, especially if your hair is natural, if the hair is relaxed, then, that's not a big deal. If you have an amino acid or something like that, not a big deal. But if you have natural hair, I try to put braiding gel on the roots, because if you don't, the hair could look puffy in a week or something. But this client, she doesn't, to each his own, she really doesn't like a lot of braiding gel on her roots. So I have to try to remember that, because my focus is, when I'm doing anybody's hair, I'm always wanting the client to get longevity out of their hair. Like whenever I do someone's hair, I want it to last and look neat. So she always reminds me. So she wasn't reminding me at this point. I think once I got above the ear to ear, I think she had mentioned it. So, and that's just me putting braiding gel at the root of her hair, on her hair. So anyway, back to why I like the knotless box braids. I mean, I think they're just very healthy for the hair. They're not pulling your hair. It don't hurt to get the install. You know, with the traditional box braids, you just add in the hair and you have to kind of do it kind of tight at the root. But with these, you don't, because you're just feeding it in. So the braid is not going to hurt. You know, you're not going to really feel anything because you're just feeding the hair in. So I mentioned on one of my other knotless box braids videos, I don't know who came up with this whole idea, a method of install for braids, but I love it. It's healthy for the hair, good for the hair. So you guys follow me if you're not already. Follow me on Instagram. You know, sometimes I put travel stuff on there. You know, my husband and I trying to decide if we're going to go out of town for Thanksgiving. And so I put travel things on there. We usually stay in Airbnbs a lot. And so you guys follow me on social media. I'm going to drop a couple of my social medias down here. I have a few, but this one is my Instagram. So I hope that you decide to follow me there. But you guys, so with the braiding gel, like I'm really big on using braiding gel. I'm really big on adding moisture to the hair. Also, when I finish with braids, I usually put some type of oil. You know, I don't just assume that the client is going to do that themselves, because sometimes they don't. So when I finish with the any type of braid technique, I always put like some oil on the scalp, usually something with some tea tree oil in it. And I'll just oil the scalp with a light oil, you know, just a liquid oil, and I'll let it just go through the hair. On the scalp, I'll apply it to the scalp, and you know, oil, it'll permeate and saturate every other area. So that way I know, you know, that the client has their hair, the scalp is oiled and healthy. Anyway, you guys, taking braids down, you know, I'm going to put a video. I'm going to drop it in the description box below. And it's talking about, you know, telling you and showing you, advising you, instructing you on how to take out braids. Because sometimes, you know, people take their own braids out and they tangle their hair up or whatever. You know, most of my clients who get braids, they don't leave the braids in super long. Because some people can leave braids in like way too long. So here's my TikTok, you guys, if you can follow me there as well. That's my TikTok there. So I haven't even been on TikTok long at all. I don't think I've been on there a year. So I don't have as many followers on there because I just kind of got on there not too long ago. So anyway, please join me. Please join. So I've seen people damage their hair or break their hair off or do all kind of stuff to their hair just trying to take braids out, you know, matting it up, leaving the braids in too long, this, that, and the third. So if you look at this video I'm using, it's a young girl that I'm demonstrating on, but I'm giving a lot of juicy details about how to take your braids down, how to do that, and avoid, you know, matting your hair up. Because I've had clients of my own who have taken out weaves or braids and they didn't detangle their hair. You know, they had them in for a while and they didn't detangle their hair and they shampooed their own hair at home and it just kind of locked up. So you definitely want to avoid that, and that can definitely happen. I mean, it can happen, so you want to be careful. You want to make sure you know how to take your braids down, your crochet braids down. Even with your own natural hair, you know, if you have two-strand twists, if you leave them in too long, you know, they can start to kind of lock up, because actually that's how you start locks, by doing two-strand twists. Or at least that's how I start my locks. Whenever I do starter locks on a client, I usually start them with a two-strand twist. And, you know, if you just leave them long enough, they'll lock up. So you have to be careful with the natural hair, how you take care of it. You know, some people, some clients, you know, with the natural hair, they prefer wearing like braids and stuff, as I mentioned on my relaxer video. That sometimes the beautiful naturalistas, and I'm natural too, so I'm a naturalista too. Sometimes, you know, it's a lot of work doing natural hair. That's why you have to find a stylist that you feel that you can trust, and preferably a licensed hairstylist. Because you guys, in my opinion, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a licensed stylist, but in my opinion, I think, you know, you should get a stylist who's licensed, because other than that, you know, if you get a stylist who's licensed, you know, they've gone to school, they've learned all about sanitation, how to keep stuff sanitized, you know, they know how to be in compliance with the State Board of Cosmetology, you know, and I don't have anything against anybody who does not have a license who do hair. I just feel like if you do not have a license and you do hair, go ahead and go all the way. And I'm an old head stylist, so I don't mean any harm. I'm just giving my honest, transparent advice. You know, always on my channel, I'm always being honest and transparent, and and the goal is always, and the motive is always to help somebody. So, you know, if you do hair, you know, go all the way. You know, go ahead and get your license so you won't just be, you know, able to just do natural hair. You can do all kind of stuff. Don't limit yourself. I always tell people, don't limit yourself in life. Don't limit your career. But, you know, I'm going to do another playlist, or maybe not a playlist. I think it'll fit under the playlist that I already have, you know, for cosmetologists and stylists. You know, I'm going to put, because I've been in this industry off and on for so many years, I'm going to continue to make videos that will help hairstylists. So I'm going to add another video soon to my playlist about, you know, just being in the hair industry, you know, taking care of yourself health-wise and stuff like that. You know, and then different other things about the hair industry. So if you're in the hair industry, you know, stay tuned for that, please. Please and thank you. So yeah, with natural hair, one thing about natural hair, it loves moisture. It kind of thrives on moisture and hydration. That's why steam hydration, which I have a steamer in my salon suite, steam hydration is everything, because sometimes you can buy all these different natural hair products and they all claim to be the best or the number one and all that, and of course that's what they should do, but if they're marketing and advertising. But you know, sometimes it's just simple things like oil, like a carrier oil, and then some type of essential oil like tea tree oil. Like if you have problems with, you know, scalp issues, if you have flaky, dry scalp, itchy scalp a lot, you know, if your scalp tends to get dry, or you shampoo your hair, get your hair shampooed, and then, you know, you still have dandruff. Because, you know, with me being a hairstylist, you know, I see all kind of scalps, and I see some scalps who, you know, I can shampoo the hair 3-4 times and it's still going to be, you know, flakes. So sometimes, you know, when you see that your scalp is just always very flaky, I would advise you to check with a dermatologist, especially if you tried a variety of shampoos over the counter and none of them seem to work. And none of them seem to get rid of the flakes and the dandruff and the itching and the dry scalp. And, you know, it could be something like eczema, dermatitis, you know, seborrhea, psoriasis. It could be a variety of scalp disorders that you can kind of research on your own online. You can Google stuff now, you know, and find out a lot of information. So here's this braiding gel again, you guys. But yeah, if you have a dry scalp, you know, you want to do your due diligence and you try to use certain shampoos over the counter, or you may want to check with your hairstylist on some some shampoos that they recommend for your hair. But you guys, in all honesty, depending on how bad it is, you may just have to go to a dermatologist and get a prescription shampoo. Now, what I find with the prescription shampoos, they work pretty fast, to resolve the issue. But sometimes it's just a scalp disorder, or sometimes it's just, when I say disorder, I'm saying it may be like psoriasis or something like that. So you just have to go. If nothing else works, then go to the dermatologist and they can prescribe you something, because the prescription shampoos, they work pretty fast. Like, they'll put all that stuff to bay, put it on the back burner, because nobody wants a really, really flaky, dry scalp that's itching a lot. And then sometimes, when you try to scratch it or pick, use a comb and try to scratch up, lift up the dandruff, it can make the scalp bleed, if you have like psoriasis or dermatitis or something like that. It can just, because it's more than just flaky scalp, it's something else. And so check with your dermatologist, or find you a dermatologist or whomever your insurance company recommends, in your area, and go and let them know what the issue is with your scalp. And then I promise you they can prescribe you a shampoo. And you guys, those shampoos work fast, because I've had clients who have to actually do what I'm telling you to do right now, or telling you what you may have to do if you have the same problem. And some people have eczema, and eczema, it can get on your skin, it can get in your scalp, all that. It can be different places. So a lot of that stuff is hereditary. So if you see a relative, having that same concern, then you may have it too. Or if you see that your scalp is always dry and flaky, So whenever I do braids, you guys, as I mentioned, I always put oil, and I usually add my own essential oils to it. I get like a braiding oil, and then I'll add probably some tea tree oil too, because tea tree oil is antibacterial, it's antifungal, so it's gonna help keep that flaky, dry, itchy scalp at bay, and it's gonna keep it to where you probably won't have a flare up. So tea tree oil is very good for what I'm talking about. You just can't put it straight from the essential oil bottle to your scalp. You have to get in some type of carrier oil, meaning just like some virgin olive oil or some type of oil, whatever is your favorite oil. And then you just put a drops of the tea tree oil in there, shake it up really good, and then that'll help, your scalp. Especially when you're wearing braids, you want to have some oil on there, because you don't want to have any flare-ups, and then it be showing on your scalp looking dry and flaky. So use some type of tea tree oil, just mix it, put a couple of drops and some oil in your favorite oil, shake it up good, and then just, put some on your scalp when you're wearing braids and stuff like that, because that'll help keep, your flare-up. It should help keep the flare-up and help with the flare-ups too, so they don't be as often. So you guys, you see I'm coming up to the top of her head. Now she wanted medium. I made them kind of smaller, and so sorry I didn't get a finished look. But thank you guys for watching. I'm going to see you next time. Be blessed.